Hey everybody, welcome to episode 17 of What Not to Miss with Chris. My goal is to put out quick, relevant content that explains the why behind the what in order to positively impact the freight community. On episode 16, we talked about how record high import volumes will affect domestic truckload demand throughout Q2. Today we're going to look at some of the short-term effects of the CVSA's upcoming International Roadcheck Week, which is scheduled for May 4th through the 6th. Now, the CVSA, or the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, conducts a 72-hour roadcheck inspection week every year. This year's inspection period has been slated for May 4th through the 6th and includes Mexico, Canada, as well as the U.S. According to the CVSA's president, Sergeant John Sammis, the International Roadcheck, quote, aims to raise awareness of the North American Standard Inspection Program and the essential highway safety rules and regulations in place to keep our roadways safe. Every year, the CVSA pays special attention to two items under each of the following categories: driver operating requirements and vehicle mechanical fitness. Under driver operating requirements, the focus this year will be on hours of service. And for vehicle mechanical fitness, inspectors will pay special attention to lighting. Now, according to CVSA.org, lighting accounted for the most vehicle violations in 2020. And during last year's International Roadcheck, the top driver out of service violation category in North America was hours of service. And that accounted for 34.7% of all driver out of service conditions. Now, the chart behind me breaks down roadcheck inspection data over the past 4 years. Vehicles being placed out of service in gray, drivers out of service in light blue, and non-out of service inspections in dark blue. Now, over the past 4 years, there's been over 245,000 inspections conducted over Roadcheck Week. Of those 245,000 inspections, almost 60,000 have led to either vehicle or driver out of service conditions. So as a carrier, if you do the math, you essentially have a 25% chance of, on average, of being placed out of service if an inspection is required. Now, this data doesn't even include non-critical violations that may result in fines, however, may not be severe enough to place a vehicle out of service. Now, based on the data, it's not hard to understand why a number of drivers and carriers choose to stay off the roads during these annual 72-hour inspection periods. Now, to support that last statement, I pulled rejection data for all of the U.S. for road checks during 2018 and 2019 to see what happens to capacity during and after the 72-hour inspection period. Now, I chose to leave off 2020 as COVID impacts have really complicated typical seasonal data. Now, while rejections may seem relatively flat during this 72-hour period, you can see them jump several percentage points in the following weeks as it takes time for displaced carriers to realign and backlog shipments to get picked up. One could also argue that rejections for 18 and 19 were amplified by an increase in demand before the 4th of July holiday. In that case, we could see a similar, if not intensified, scenario play out for the month of May as demand increases and capacity decreases before Memorial Day. So, shippers, my immediate advice to help combat what lies ahead is to increase your level of communication with your carriers and brokers over the next several weeks. Evaluate what you can push out in advance this week. Increase tender lead times if possible, adjust shipping and receiving hours if possible, and most importantly, rely on your providers for knowledgeable advice on how to successfully navigate through the upcoming season of volatility. Now, as always, if you would like to learn more information about this topic, please feel free to reach out to me or find us at bridgelogisticsinc.com. Also, if you found this information to be beneficial, please like, share, and or leave your comments below. And until next time, I'm Chris Seeds, and thanks for joining me on another episode of What Not to Miss with Chris.